This is a Chrome extension that I just created yesterday, and it only took me less than 2 hours to create this extension before eventually it got approved and published on the Chrome Web Store. And the best part, I didn't write a single line of code for this extension. AI literally code everything for me. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can create your own Chrome extension without any coding or technical knowledge. And this is possible because we are going to be using an AI code editor called Windsurf that will literally do everything for us. It will create the code, it will create the folders necessary to build the extension, and all you need to do is just to create a prompt about what extension that you want to have. And later I'm going to show you on how you can upload the Chrome extension to the Chrome Web Store and got approved, so it will be available to billions of Chrome users. So let's get into it. But before we start, there is something that you need to know. Every Chrome extension has to solve a problem. For example, this is a Chrome extension that I just created using AI, and it is called Auto Amazon Link Cleaner. So the goal of this extension is to help Amazon affiliate users to share a clean link of the Amazon product. For example, if you visit any Amazon product, let's say this Apple AirTag product, you'll see that the URL is very long, and if you want to share that to social media like Twitter, it's going to take a bunch of characters from the post and it doesn't look pretty. So you need to clean the link because the actual link is actually only this section, and you don't want to do this manually every time you want to share the link, and that's why I created this extension. So if I enable this extension and if I refresh the page, this extension will automatically clean all the remaining tracking data from the link, and eventually this is going to be a lot cleaner and just a lot prettier. And also I do added some features like the affiliate can add their own affiliate ID, they can also see the number of links in the browser, so this is going to be very helpful for their workflow. And yeah, that is the goal of a Chrome extension. It has to solve a problem. So today as a demo, I'm going to create a sort of to-do list app. You can absolutely use the prompt that I'm going to be showing you to just get your hands dirty, but you can also just create your own Chrome extension right from the beginning. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing that you need to do is you have to download Windsurf from this Codium website. You can go to codium.com/Windsurf, and then you can click the download button for your operating system. It could be Windows, Mac, and Linux. And after that, you want to install the program to your computer. The installation process is actually quite generic. You just need to click next, and then finish. But then the onboarding process can be a bit too technical for some people, especially if you have never used any code editor before. I suggest you to watch my previous video about how you can install Windsurf on your computer, because I provided a complete guide about how you can install and also the onboarding process for the program. And after that, you can launch Windsurf, and this is the interface of the program. On the right side of the screen, there is something called Cascade, and this is the AI feature that we are going to be interacting with. So this is where you can start writing the prompt, and later it will create all the codes necessary for the extension. But to start a new project, you have to go to File and then click Open Folder. So if in Microsoft Word, if you want to create a new document, you have to click File and then click New. In Windsurf, you have to start by creating a new folder, because that folder will contain all the files and codes necessary for the extension. I'm going to start a new folder, and I'm going to call this one to-do list extension, and hit enter and click select folder. Okay, so I do recommend to open the Explorer. This is going to show you all the files that the AI just created. And yeah, you can open Cascade as well to start interacting with the AI. I'm going to just copy and paste the prompt that I just prepared for this tutorial, and this is the prompt. It's actually quite long, but very much natural. It is something that anyone can describe. So I'm going to read the prompting, and also I'm going to explain why I use that prompt. The prompt is, I want you to create a to-do list Chrome extension. The name of the extension is Today's To-Do List, that helps the user to focus on the most important things to do today. Okay, this is actually important because you want to provide a context, or at least the general overview about the extension, so the AI can understand what you are trying to achieve here. And after that, the extension must have these features. I just lay down all the features that I want on the extension in a bullet point, because I think this is just a lot easier to look at. So the features that I want to have is big checkbox on each task, drag and drop feature to order the task. Each task can be deleted, add some animations as needed, progress bar showing how many tasks have been finished. There's also a small number on the extension icon that shows the amount of unfinished tasks. This is actually actually very similar to the red bubble in the Android icon, because it's just showing the user that there is something to do, there is a notification or things that they need to look at. And after that, the interface has to be like a startup website with big icons and space. Okay, this one is very subjective. You can obviously use whatever design principle that you want to have on the extension. I just prefer to have a startup-like design because they usually look bold and look more attractive compared to most websites. And after that, the extension is intuitive and follows best coding practices. And lastly, it uses Manifest version 3 standards. So Manifest v3 is actually a standard that Chrome is going to impose next year, 2025, and this is going to replace the Manifest version 2 that has been around for years. And if you're not adding this keyword into your prompt, there is a good chance the AI might create a Chrome extension based on Manifest version 2, which is still working actually, but you will see this message when you are publishing the extension to the Chrome Web Store. This extension might soon no longer be supported because it doesn't follow best practices for Chrome extensions, and that's why you want to basically future-proof your extension, so you don't have to worry about updating the code, because it is something that will be available even when the Manifest version 3 will be rolled out in the next year. And that's basically for the Manifest version 3. And this is the prompt that I'm going to be using to create the to-do list Chrome extension. And by the way, now Windsurf do have an image upload feature right here where you can upload your own design into the prompt, and they can use that as a reference when designing the interface of the extension. If you know how to design a user interface, then that's really good, but you can also take some inspiration from sites like Figma or Google search image, where you can search for to-do list design, and then you can find a lot of really cool to-do list app that you can essentially copy and take inspiration from. You can take a screenshot on the design, and then you can upload the screenshot into Windsurf, and the AI will try to design the extension based on your screenshot. So this is going to significantly speed up the process, and you will get a really cool looking Chrome extension. After that, back in Windsurf, you can select the model that you want to use. There are 3 different options. There is GPT-4o, Cloud 3.5 Sonnet, and Cascade based. Generally speaking, Cloud is a bit better than GPT-4o because the design that it produces is just more good looking compared to GPT-4o and Cascade based. But again, it's totally up to you if you find GPT-4o and Cascade based to be delivering a much better result for your extension. After that, make sure to enable the write mode. So there are 2 different modes right here. There is a write mode, there's also a chat mode. The write mode will run the AI agent, which means it's going to create the necessary folders and files for the extension, while the chat mode is really for just debugging or discussing about the project. So the chat mode is not going to code for you, but the write mode will. So think of it like the chat mode is like ChatGPT, but it is embedded into the code editor. So anyway, let's select the write mode, and I'm going to hit enter and see what's going to happen. Now, as you can see, it started creating all the codes necessary for the extension, and I didn't do anything. It just created the code for me. Isn't that awesome? Now it is asking me for a permission to run this command on the terminal. I'm going to click accept, and once it's done, you can see all the things that the AI has done for us. And also you can just click accept all to accept all the codes that it just created. I'm going to click this button, and there you go. Now this extension, at least the first version of the extension, is pretty much ready, and we can start testing the extension on the Google Chrome browser. To run the extension on Google Chrome, all you need to do is to open Google Chrome and then go to the menu and click extension and click manage extensions. After that, you want to enable developer mode and then click load unpack. This is where you can select the folder of the extension project that we are working with Windsurf. Click load unpack, and then you want to select the folder that contains all the codes for the Chrome extension that you are creating with Windsurf, and click select folder. Okay, we got this message, failed to load the extension. This is because the extension requires an icon, but I haven't yet created an icon file, which is an image file for the extension. It is something that will appear when you are clicking on the extension icon, and then you can see this icon that represents the extension, but I don't have that file. So instead of creating the file, which is actually something that you can do right away, but I personally just prefer to work on the extension first before dealing with all the cosmetic. So I'm going to modify the code a bit by asking the AI to change the requirements so the extension is no longer asking for an icon file. Let me copy and paste this prompt. Okay, the prompt is the extension failed to load because I don't have the icon files. Please update the code so it doesn't require an icon. Let's hit enter and see what's going to happen. Now it is editing the manifest.json file, and as you can see here, this red area is actually the one that is going to be removed, and then we're going to click accept all, and let's go back to Chrome again. I'm going to click the retry button, and there you go. Now the extension is loaded. Let's see the extension that the AI just created for us. Let's click the extensions menu, and I'm going to pin the extension for easy access. Let's click on it, but I didn't see anything. Oh, okay, now we got this extension. So this is the look of the extension, and let's try do some workout, clean the room, buy some groceries. Let's test all the functionalities for this extension. I'm going to click this. Oh, it's really good. The tag supposed to be crossed out, but it didn't, so we have to make some adjustment. If you're using the same prompt that I was using for this particular project, you're probably not going to see this error at all, because even though you are using the same prompt, the code that will be generated by the AI will be different regardless. So for me, I need to modify the code a bit to at least cross these tags when I tick on the box. So let's go back to Windsurf and make some adjustment. Alright, now I'm going to send this prompt to the AI. The prompt is, that's great, I tested the extension, but the text isn't crossed out when I tick the box. Please fix that. And also, I want the AI to update the interface to have a purple color. So let's hit enter and wait until the AI finishes correcting the code. As usual, we don't have to do anything. We just need to see the code that it generates, and then we can decide whether or not we want to accept or reject the changes. In this case, I'm going to click accept all, and then I'm going to minimize Windsurf again. Now I'm going to refresh the extension by clicking on the reload button right here, and let's click on the extension icon and try again. 1, 2, 3, enter, and I'm hoping that this time it's going to cross the letter when I tick the box. Okay, it's looking great, although there's this weird artifact. I don't understand what is the meaning behind this text. So yeah, this is something that I need to fix. So this is something that definitely could happen if you are using AI to create the code for you. So what I'm going to do now is to take a screenshot of this problem and then send the screenshot to the AI, and hopefully it will update the code with the correct solution. By the way, I'm using a screenshot tool called PicPic. The reason of why I use this software is because it's actually going to save the file immediately. Like, you don't have to manually name or select the location of the file. It will do it for you. And after that, we can open Windsurf again, and after that I'm going to select this icon to upload the screenshot file, and then I'm asking the AI to actually look into that and fix the code for me. Let's hit enter and see what kind of solution that it will come up with. Yeah, it's quickly understand about the problem and point to the CSS problem, and it update the CSS file immediately, which is really cool. Let's click accept all, and I'm going to try this again. Let's click reload, click on the extension icon, and wow, it's actually working. So let's try it again. Yep, so far so good. I can drag and drop. I can also delete every task. And yeah, this is really cool for an extension that took me only 10 minutes to create. I think it looks really cool. And now I'm going to add a donation link into the extension. So this is actually a very common practice in a lot of Chrome extensions, where the developer of the extension can put their donation link where people that are using the extension can appreciate the work and maybe give them some tip, which is probably not much, but it will help the developer to stay motivated maintaining the extension. Maybe you can get a few dollars every week, which is really nice given that you made the extension using AI. So this is the prompt that I'm going to be using. I also provided the link of the donation page, and after that, let's hit enter and wait until the AI updated the code. Click accept all again. Let's minimize, reload, and click on the extension. Okay, this is the link, and when I click on this link, it will open a new page. This is the coffee.com page that allows people to tip me about my work, and probably this is the simplest way to make money out of your Chrome extension. Anyway, I think we are more or less done, but do not forget that we still need to add an icon for this extension. And the tool that I'm going to be using to create the icon for the extension is Canva. You can definitely use any image editing software that you prefer, but I think Canva is just simple, it's easy to use, and it also has tons of features that helps you create a nice looking logo or icon even if you don't have any design knowledge, because they have a lot of unique templates and samples that you could use as the icon. And what you need to know is that the width and the height of the icon has to be exactly 128 pixels. And I'm going to click create new design, which is for this icon. And this is the interface of Canva, and I'm going to create a simple icon for this extension. So I'm going to start with elements, and I want to have a circular icon. So I'm going to click on this circle shape, and the color is going to be red. And after that, let's make it bigger. And after that, I'm going to add another circle in the middle. I'm going to use this white circle. Let's change the color to be white, and let's make it slightly bigger. I'm going to put this in the middle, and yeah, this is the icon that I'm going to be using. I don't know anything about design, but I think this icon is going to be bold enough because the color is bright, it's red, so it will attract the user attention. So it will look at the extension icon and eventually will remind them to actually finish the objective of the day. After that, I'm going to click share, click download, and make sure to select the file type as PNG, and the size is 128 by 128 pixel. And I'm going to enable transparent background because I want to have a circular icon, so this extra white space on the corner of the picture will not be seen when you are using PNG and enabling the transparent background option. And let's click download. So I just downloaded the icon file and I move it to the same directory as the Chrome extension, and I also renamed the file to be icon, and the format is PNG. Now let's ask AI to actually modify the code, because previously we asked AI to remove the requirement of an icon for the extension, but now we want it back. So let's modify the code. This is the prompt that I'm going to be using. Add an icon requirement for the extension. Require only one icon to fit all sizes. The name of the icon is icon.png, and let's hit enter, and let's click accept all, and then let's reload the icon. As you can see, now the icon is different. We have the brand new icon for the extension. And here comes the most difficult part, which is uploading the extension into the Chrome Web Store. And there are a few requirements that you need to fulfill. In order to upload the extension, we must first package all the files into one zip file. So you can right click on any of these items on your Chrome extension, and after that click refill in Explorer, and let's go back one step and then right click on the extension folder, and then you can click send to and compress zip folder. You can also use a software like 7-zip, which is available on pretty much any major operating system, but in this case I'm going to be using a simple zipping feature in Windows 10. I'm going to choose this option, compress zip folder, and yeah, so this folder contains all the files necessary for the extension. Now we are ready to upload the extension into Chrome Web Store. Now go to Google and then search for Chrome Web Store, and after that open the website, and then you have to scroll down to the very bottom, and then you have to click developer dashboard. Okay, if you are doing this for the first time, you are not going to see this interface. Instead, you are going to see this message. So basically you have to accept the agreement for the developer to upload your Chrome extension into the Chrome Web Store, and then you also have to pay $5 for the registration fee. This is not a subscription, this is pretty much just a one-time fee, and after that you should be able to upload your first Chrome extension. And honestly, this is the most expensive part of the process, and there is no way around it. You pretty much have to pay $5 to get started, and then after the payment they're going to ask you about the trader declaration. So essentially, if you are representing a company that makes money, then you have to select this is a trader account. But if you are an individual, or if you're making an extension for a fun project, even though in theory you could make money like from donation, you should choose this is a non-trader account. But don't worry, if in the future you want to be serious about the Chrome extension and then you want to make money out of it, then you can always change the stance on the thread declaration later. And to upload the extension, you have to go to the items menu and then click new item. And then here you can drag and drop the zip file that contains the extension files like the codes and the icon. So I'm going to just click and drag the file right here. And this is the most intimidating part of adding a Chrome extension to Chrome Web Store, because there are a lot of forms that you have to fill and you have to create icon and also screenshots and promo tile for the extension. But fortunately, it's going to tell you all the requirements that you need to fulfill to submit the extension. You can click this button that says why can't I submit, and you can see the list of all the requirements that needed to be populated before you can submit the extension. There are fields like description, category, language, a store icon, and you can also insert a video if you want to. So there will be quite a lot of information that you need to provide before you can submit the extension for review. For example, this is a Chrome extension that I just submitted and has been published on the Chrome Web Store. And as you can see, I pretty much fill almost everything like description, category, language, store icon, and also screenshots, promo tile. Promo tile is actually the one that will be displayed here. Like this is promo tile. So when someone actually opening Chrome Web Store and then they're searching for an extension, they would see this as the representation of the extension. And if you actually go to the privacy section right here, this extension, for example, has quite a lot of permissions, and those are necessary because the extension needs to read the URL that is being visited by the user in order to clean that URL and some other things like navigation, storage, etc. But I also declare that I didn't collect or sell data from this extension, and that's why I can get away with not providing the privacy policy URL. But if you collect and store data, then you definitely have to adjust accordingly and you have to provide a privacy policy URL. But if you are submitting the extension for the first time, this is empty, so you have to populate this manually. But of course, we are going to use AI to create permission justification for these items and also for the store listing like the description. So let's go back to Windsurf and we are going to ask AI to actually provide all the description and also the permission justification for the extension. For example, the to-do list extension that I'm creating here requires single purpose and also storage justification. If you don't understand the meaning of these two, don't worry, we are going to ask AI to create the justification or the reason behind why we need this permission for the browser. Now let's go back to Windsurf. Okay, I'm going to be using this prompt. Based on the code, please generate number 1 extension description, number 2 single purpose description, and then number 3 storage justification. And let's hit enter. Now you can see that the AI just created the extension description, and then there is also single purpose description, and lastly storage justification. You can copy and paste this information into the appropriate field, and after that you can continue the journey of filling all the necessary information for the extension. After you submit everything, like you have to provide your contact email, you have to provide screenshots, pictures, etc. And then after that, you can click submit for review, and then you just need to wait until the reviewer actually approving your extension. This process could take up to 30 days, but from my experience, it will be done in less than 24 hours. After that, the extension will be automatically published, and then you can navigate to the items menu. You can see the status is published, which means the extension is now available publicly and anyone can use your extension that you just made using AI. And that's it for today. That's how you can create a Chrome extension without any coding or technical knowledge, thanks to the power of AI. And if you want to create more cool stuff with the power of AI, then please consider subscribing to this channel because I'm going to be sharing more tutorials like this, and I'll catch you on my next video. Have a good day and take care.